Hey, welcome back. In this episode, I'm going to talk to you about how do I sell my land to a developer. I'm asked all the time, hey Brent, how do I find developers to buy my land so I can sell it for like maximum dollar? I'm going to show you in this episode. All right, I've got several things I want to break down, like how to find these developers, how to talk to them, and how to get the highest price from these developers. So stick around, I'm going to give you a free gift, and that's my script of exactly what to say to these developers. All right, first thing you want to do is go where the developers are at, and I call this driving for developers. You know, it's pretty easy. You get in your car and you drive around and you look out the window. And it's really good to do this with a friend or a wife or a husband or a partner, because that person can look while you safely drive. And your co-pilot, your shotgun, can always spot more than you can. So you want to look for the new houses going up. You want to look for the new curbs and streets and gutters going up. You want to look for the machinery clearing the land or, spreading the dirt. This is how to drive for developers. But here's another ninja trick hack type thing. If you drive around Friday afternoon to Monday afternoon, you're going to see signs up for houses, brand new houses. Buy these new houses from these builders offering incentives. And the reason why I say Friday afternoon to Monday afternoon is because a lot of cities allow developers to put their signs up at Friday noon up until noon on Monday, and they got to take them down. So they pay people to put these things up and down. So that's another way to do that. Let's just say that you're not about driving, you don't have a car. Well, here's the next step. You can actually call the building department. It's sometimes called a regional building department. Sometimes it's called a building department. And ask these guys, hey, who in the world is doing all this building around here? Who's doing the new houses? Who's doing the new developments? And a lot of times, this is a valuable resource. You can actually get a list of people doing the actual building in your community. Another easy way is you can actually look in Facebook groups. Facebook groups, it would be your city builders or your city developers. A lot of times I found that some counties don't even have this, some do, and it's a very valuable resource. So try it out. It doesn't cost you but 5 minutes to search and see if this is a possibility. But you can get in these groups and actually talk to these people directly one-on-one and see what they're looking for. See if they're interested in your parcel of land that you have. So there's a really good resource called meetup.com. Meetup.com, you can search these meetups and see if there's a builders association meetup or a developer meetup or a local builders meetup. So sometimes these guys will get together once a month, maybe twice a month, and have coffee or breakfast or beers or whatever, depending on what time of the day is. And you can actually go and mingle and network with these guys and get their contact information, because they're always looking for land. There's one thing that they do very well, and that's build and develop land. But they also have to find the land to buy. So they are totally willing to speak to people like you, myself, that have land available for them to develop on. Another very valuable resource that I found to find these developers doing these actual business, doing these deals and building houses, builders building houses, is by going to the local community banks, local credit unions, and talking to these guys and say, hey, who's doing the big parcels, the big developments? Who's doing the development all the way out east or whatever? Like if you know of specific areas, and they will give you this information, or you can just tell them exactly what you're trying to do. Like, hey, I come across parcels of land all the time. I want to help these guys. I want to be able to sell the land to them. They might not specifically give you the contact information, but they might say, oh, that's AHS development, or oh, that's Jim with AHS. Maybe they will connect you. Maybe he or she would be willing to do a letter of introduction, like an email or a quick text, like, hey, this guy's got land. Would you be willing to speak to him? Or maybe he'll just give you the actual information of the developer as far as their business name, and then you can go and look them up with the Secretary of State website, the SOS. A lot of times you can Google your county SOS, Secretary of State website, and actually research the actual business names of these companies doing these deals, and then you're going to have to skip trace them. Skip tracing is looking up the phone number and the email. I do have a link below that you can check out. It's called batchleads.io. That's one way to skip trace these individuals, to find their phone numbers and their emails and then get in touch with them. All right, as promised, I'm going to go ahead and give you the script of exactly what to say to these developers. But before I do, go ahead and click that subscribe button and like this video. I come out with these videos 5 days a week, always bringing you value. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button. That way you're notified when more come out. All right, what to say to developers. I'm gonna give you a script here, and I want you to learn the script, internalize it, and make it your own. That way you're not being robotic or mechanical when you're actually talking to these guys, because they're gonna see right through it, and you too will feel way better after you've internalized this. Practice it in front of your mirror, practice it with your partner, your friend, or even your dog. Dogs are great listeners. So at this point, you've driven for developers, you found out the information, you figured out who's developing, whether it be from the local banks or the county building department or the regional building department. You found a Facebook group, a meetup, you name it. Now what do you say to this developer? Hello, John or Mary or Mr. or Miss Developer. I have a piece of land that you may be interested in. Are you guys looking for any more projects? All right, so the answer is yes. Great. When's a good time to speak? Or when's a good time for you to check out the project? Is now a good time? I always like to get a little permission because I want to know. I don't want to catch them in the middle of something. I almost want to pull away. You sound a little busy. Is now a good time to speak, or do you want me to call back another time? Or do you want to talk another time? Next is, awesome, great. I have this parcel. It's zoned for this, and this is how many acres it is. When would you like to take a look at it? And would you be interested in a parcel such as this? Or like this? And then after they say yes, no, maybe, I say pretty much I don't care which one to say. Great, when could you look at it and possibly make an offer on it? So at the end of the day, you want to get multiple offers from multiple different developers. You don't want to take the first one and run with it. Be careful to, take the anxiety of the buyer. If they're kind of coming in hot, you want to kind of pull back a little bit and just kind of breathe, because you don't want to take the first offer that you get. You want to have multiple offers. That way you can kind of see what the one that best suits your needs and hopefully get the highest and best to you. There's a lot of power in getting multiple offers. You can use it as leverage, or the first person might back out. You've got a second one to go to, or the first person might give you a little grief and try and offer you less. You can just say, hey, look, I got an offer that's $1,000 less than what you had already offered. Do you want to keep moving forward, or do you want to just go to the next one? There's so much power in that, and you can be confident, be bold. God made you in His image. Be bold, be confident. All right, so I make a living buying and selling land. I have an amazing team that helps me out with this. I've had the opportunity now to build a tried and true method to teach people how to buy land at massive discounts and turn around and sell this stuff in their sleep. I've got multiple students that tell me on a weekly basis, I made $30,000 last week, I made $40,000 last week. If you're interested in building a business that serves you and your family and eventually others, go to the link below in the description and click on the landsharks.com and fill out the form, schedule a call with me and my team, and we'll see what your goals are. And if we're a great fit, I'd be honored to coach you.